Okay, we're going to talk about characteristics, tone quality on a trumpet, really any brass instrument, and specifically on blatting, playing with the bad sound. It's really easy to play with the bad sound. All you have to do is not control the air that you're putting out the instrument. Now, this has nothing to do with playing too loud. This has nothing to do with playing too soft. This has not being able to control the air that you're pushing out. Now I can play a note. I'm going to play a concert F, that's G for trumpets. And that's about a mezzo forte for in this room. I can put exactly the same amount of air in this and not firm up my embouchure, and it's going to sound bad. So it's not about playing loud. It's about not controlling what you're putting out. And that's just a bad sound. And what I'm doing is right here, this is just too loose. I mean, it's just not a firm embouchure. It's just sloppy, and it's just not firm. And if you just firm that up and you control that air. And if you can hear, there's actually a double buzz going on there. If you can do the same thing playing soft. I'm going to do this at a nice soft mezzo piano. And all I did was firm up my embouchure. Now I'm not talking about playing high and low. I'm talking about just firming the muscles up. This can also be caused by actually playing too soft or too high or too low, and most of the time it's playing too low, so your lips aren't forming the pitch that your instrument is playing. So here's what I'll do on this side. Here's a concert E flat or an F first valve, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my finger and I'm going to try to play a G, but I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to change my embouchure at all. So the F sounds good. It's got good tone quality. The G is horrible because this is buzzing an F. So we take the mouthpiece off and we're going to finger that F. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the horn. So now I'm going to buzz that G when I lift the finger. And if you're listening, you got a good ear, you could tell that just for a split second that G didn't sound good. So I wasn't buzzing exactly a G when I lifted. Now I'm playing with a little vibrato. The vibrato, some people like the vibrato, some people don't. You can do the same thing, straight tone. Now what I want to do, and there's lots of guys going to tell you mouth position, tongue position, things like that. I'm going to say keep your teeth apart. Don't worry about where your tongue is exactly. Keep your teeth apart, keep your mouth open. You want to think ta like that. If you're not doing that and you're saying ta, and I'll show you a little bit about what that's going to do. Clarinets want to play with a nice E like that. And if I do an E, it's bad tone quality. If I think to like a flute does, if I'm thinking ta, so you want to think ta or toe. It's going to get even a little bit darker. The E, if we're Eing like that, we got that smile, it's going to sound bad. The ooh is going to sound bad because it's going to get your tongue in a bad position. Think ah, and don't worry. If you're thinking ah, then your tongue's going to be in the right place and you're going to have good tone quality. Now remember, the bad tone quality, the blatty sound, comes from not controlling this. You cannot control or the pitch in your lips. Firm up. I can do the same thing loud. Now, if I decide that I'm not going to firm up, then it's just an ugly sound. It's loud and ugly. You don't want to go loud and ugly. Now, if your band director's telling you to play louder, and marching band, we want you to play louder a lot of times. What you have to remember is how loud can you play and still sound good. If you don't sound good anymore, you're playing too loud, or you're just not controlling it. If you can't control that much air, don't push that much air because it's just going to be ugly. Now, we get loud, and then we go too far and we get ugly. Ugly, number one, it's not going to be a good tone quality. You can't tune ugly. If your band director's all the time, you're out of tune, you're out of tune, or you're out of tune, it may not be that you're out of tune so bad, is your tone quality's bad, and it doesn't matter what you do with your horn position, doesn't matter what your slide's doing, doesn't matter what your trombone slide's doing. If you're playing with that bad tone quality, you can't tune it, and you're going to sound bad, and your band's going to sound bad. Control this. Make sure the airstream is controlled. Make sure the pitch that you're putting in the mouthpiece is the pitch you want to come out the end of the horn. If the pitch going into the mouthpiece is not the right pitch, it's not going to be the right pitch coming out. Play your stuff on the mouthpiece, finger through it. Like if I'm going to play, I'll play a little Clark study. Do the same thing on the horn. You got to control that. If you're not controlling it, it sounds horrible. My fingers are still right. It sounds horrible because this, I'm not controlling this. I'm not playing the right pitches into this. Control it. Know the pitches. Buzz the pitch that you want, and your tone quality is going to be better. If you got any questions, ask.